Help me hit 7,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I never thought a vacation could feel like a battlefield. But that Monday morning, as I watched the news alert pop up on my phone, I realized life had a cruel sense of timing. My name is Ali Bennett, 33, and for the past 4 years, I've been in a relationship with Maisie Clark, the most vibrant, unpredictable person I've ever met. People often say love is patient, that it forgives, but sometimes love just waits silently while you figure out whether you're being foolish or brave. I met Maisie at a friend's rooftop party in London. She had this magnetic energy that drew everyone in, a laugh that made the coldest room feel like summer. I wasn't the loudest guy in the room, quiet, dependable, predictable, but she liked that. She called me her anchor, the one who grounded her while the world spun too fast. For the first couple of years, we were inseparable. Weekends were spontaneous, weekday nights were cozy and quiet. Our inside jokes filled rooms. Her hand in mine made me feel untouchable. Then, gradually, the edges of that spark began to fray. It wasn't dramatic at first, no shouting matches, no betrayal, just subtle shifts. She stopped sharing her plans with me, stayed late at work without telling me why, and sometimes, I'd catch her staring at her phone with a smile that didn't belong to me. I brushed it off for a while. Maybe she was stressed, maybe she needed space. I tried to give her both. But nothing prepared me for the text I got that morning. Flying to Miami. It's just for a few days. I'll tell you all when I get back. Face blowing a kiss. I stared at my phone, blinked, and reread the message. A vacation? Fine. Alone? No problem. But when I noticed the small signature beneath the text, with Theo, my chest constricted. Theo Harper, her ex-boyfriend. The one she promised she had no feelings for anymore. The one I had met once at a dinner and had politely ignored, thinking past is past. I didn't respond. I didn't send a single angry message, no calls, no questioning. Silence became my shield. I decided, at least for now, to keep my dignity intact. Because there's a difference between reacting and responding. And in moments like these, reacting is too easy. Responding takes courage, self-control, and sometimes heartbreak. The hours crawled like frozen molasses. I scrolled through work emails, checked the news, even cleaned my apartment. Anything to distract myself from the gnawing thought that the woman I loved was thousands of miles away with someone else. Someone who had once had her heart. My friends called, tried to cheer me up. Liam, my best friend since college, joked that I should text her a safe travels meme. I didn't laugh. Not because I wasn't funny, but because humor felt like betrayal to her, to myself, to the love I thought we shared. By the second day, I realized the silence was becoming louder than any argument we ever had. Each unchecked message, each unread status update on social media, became a mirror reflecting not just her actions but my own choices. Why was I still holding on to hope that a person who could casually spend time with an ex would suddenly remember how much I mattered? I sat on my couch that evening, Sophie, my golden retriever, curled up beside me. She tilted her head, her big eyes asking questions I couldn't answer. Maisie had always loved Sophie. It was one of the first things that made me fall for her. I stroked Sophie's fur, thinking about all the little things I used to do for Maisie. Leaving notes in her bag, remembering her coffee order, making her laugh when she didn't even feel like smiling. And now, here I was, silent, waiting, wondering if silence would ever be enough. The third morning, a notification popped up. A picture from Miami. Maisie and Theo, sun-kissed, laughing on a balcony overlooking the ocean. The caption read, "Finally some sunshine sun, #throwback vibes." I didn't reply. I didn't post, didn't like, didn't comment. I just put my phone down and went about my day. But inside, a storm was building. A quiet, simmering contrast between the calm exterior I presented to the world and the turmoil churning within. My mind raced, replaying every smile, every touch, every "I love you" she had ever said. Were they all just lines, rehearsed gestures meant for someone else now? And then, out of nowhere, she sent me a text late that night. Simple, small, nothing dramatic. "Ali, I didn't think it would feel like this. I miss you. I stared at it for what felt like hours. The irony was suffocating. She flew thousands of miles with the person she used to love. Yet somehow, in that small blinking text box, she was reaching for me. I didn't reply immediately. Instead, I held my phone in my hand, feeling the weight of every moment we had shared. The good, the bad, and the unspoken. I realized that sometimes, love isn't about chasing. It's about knowing your worth, standing silent while others prove theirs. And in that silence, clarity grows. I finally typed a reply, careful with every word. Not angry, not desperate, just honest. Maisie, I hear you. I always have. But you chose your path and I chose mine. We'll talk when you get back. Sending it felt like letting go and holding on at the same time. I set my phone down and leaned back, letting the silence fill the room. For the first time in days, I felt a strange kind of peace. The contrast between the storm in Miami and the calm in my living room almost comforting. It was like standing on a cliff edge, knowing you could fall, but choosing to breathe instead. The next few days passed slowly. I didn't scroll her socials, didn't ask friends for updates. I immersed myself in my life, work, walks through the city, coffee at the little cafe around the corner. Ellie, the barista who always remembered my order, gave me that same warm smile she always did, and I realized how much small, consistent gestures matter. Not fireworks, not dramatic declarations, just presence. When Maisie finally returned, the airport felt like a stage. She spotted me first, her hair tousled, cheeks sun-kissed, but her eyes held a mix of vulnerability and guilt I had rarely seen. Theo was nowhere in sight, and I didn't ask. Silence can be a stronger conversation than words. We walked to my car in quiet, the weight of the past few days hanging between us. I glanced at her, noticing for the first time the tiny things I used to love. The way her nose crinkled when she laughed, the small scar on her hand from when she fell as a child, the soft hum she made when she was nervous. Ali, she began, her voice shaky. I shouldn't have gone. I didn't realize. I held up a hand. It's fine. You're back now, and we can talk. She paused, taking a deep breath. I thought being with him would feel like closure, but it didn't. Being away made me realize how much I pushed you away, and it hurts. It hurts more than I expected. I nodded slowly. Silence again, but this time it wasn't tension. It was understanding. We didn't need to fill every space with words. Sometimes the pause between sentences says more than the sentences themselves. The drive home was quiet, the kind of quiet that isn't awkward. It's reflective, where thoughts settle like dust after a storm. I thought about all the times I had stayed silent, all the moments I had wondered whether my patience was foolish. And now I realized patience isn't weakness. It's clarity. It's giving people room to see what they truly want, and giving yourself room to see what you truly deserve. Later that evening, we sat in my living room, the city lights spilling through the windows. Maisie curled up beside me, her head on my shoulder, and for the first time in what felt like months, the spark returned. Not the loud, flamboyant spark of the first year, but a quiet one, steady and warm. She didn't speak at first. She just rested, letting the calm wash over her. Finally, she whispered, I know I messed up. I don't want to lose what we have. I see it now. I turned to her, taking her hand gently in mine. Maisie, I didn't leave. I stayed. I waited. But waiting doesn't mean tolerating disrespect. It means giving love space to come back, if it's meant to. Her eyes glistened, and she nodded. I understand. We didn't need more than that. The room was filled with the unspoken acknowledgement of mistakes, lessons learned, and the quiet promise of a second chance. Not a dramatic movie moment, not fireworks or grand gestures, just two people understanding the weight of choices and the power of silent strength. That night, I realized something profound. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words, and absence teaches lessons presence never could. Maisie had gone to Miami seeking closure or maybe escape, but in the end, it was the one person who stayed, who didn't react, who didn't chase, who listened to the quiet, who became the anchor. Not just for her, but for both of us. And in that realization, I found peace. Because love isn't just about being there for the good days. It's about standing still while the storms pass. About patience, clarity, and the courage to wait without losing yourself. Maisie looked at me, a small, vulnerable smile forming, and I knew we had crossed a threshold. The Miami trip didn't break us. It revealed us. And sometimes, that's all it takes. One text, one moment of clarity, and a silent choice to see who truly matters.